Today we're taking a look at the 2017 Nissan Pathfinder in the Platinum trim level. So now in this video we're not going to be covering all of the features offered in the Nissan Pathfinder. We're only going to be covering what features are standard when upgrading from the SL model to the Platinum trim level. Now the Pathfinder comes in 4 trim levels, S being the base model, SV being upgraded, SL it's a bit higher, and then this one, the highest end, the Platinum trim level. Now let's go ahead and get started. Now we're going to be starting from the outside and moving our way in on the 2017 Pathfinder. So we're going to see what changes are different from the SL model. Now right off the bat, what you can see here in the front, now standard even on the basic model is of course these nice LED daytime running lights, but it's specific to the Platinum trim level is what we see here now. This is an LED projector bulb, projector beam LED headlights. So not only do we have the nice LED daytime running lights, but also offered here standard now on the Platinum trim level is nice LED headlights. Moving along to the side of the vehicle, what you're going to notice is these nice 20-inch alloy wheels specific only to the Platinum trim level. So no other Pathfinder trim level is going to offer these nice 20-inch alloy wheels. On the other models there is available 18-inch alloy wheels that are standard from the basic all the way to the SL, and additional 20-inch wheels optional through accessories on the SL model. But on the Platinum trim level you're going to be looking at these specifically. So again, little touches that make it overall a little bit more elegant than the SL trim level. The SL trim level being already well equipped with leather and everything in the inside, the Platinum trim level just pushes the Pathfinder close to an infinity territory. So you're going to start to notice a lot of luxury features on the Platinum trim level that you would see in a more expensive type of vehicle. Now moving along to the side, another small thing to note is that the Platinum comes standard with this nice chrome trimming on the outside. Again, it is optional on different trim levels, but it is standard here on the Platinum trim level of the Nissan Pathfinder. Now we're just going to do a quick walk around with the vehicle, kind of observe some of the changes outside from the 2016 model year to the 17. Now this being the Platinum trim level, there is a standard tow hitch receiver. So there's no options to get. You don't have to get a trailer package. It's already standard on the Platinum trim level. Now the rest of the changes we're going to observe are going to be in the interior of the vehicle. Now this being the Platinum trim level does have a lot of the safety. Now this being the Platinum trim level, there are actually a lot of safety features you're going to notice that are standard here in this model. One of them being of course the forward emergency braking, intelligent cruise control. So already being the Platinum trim level, there's no more options really to get if you already get a fully loaded vehicle. So it has all those safety features, blind spot warning, which are actually standard on the SL model. The Platinum trim level only offers the more convenience features like intelligent cruise control and of course forward emergency braking in case you're not paying attention. But again, can't stress it enough, the SL model, the one below it, is already equipped. That's why you're not going to notice too many changes here on the Platinum on the outside. You're only going to notice that once you actually hop into the inside, that it feels like you're sitting in an Infinity, just at a lot lower cost. So I mean, that pretty much wraps up the outside of the vehicle. We're going to be moving on to the inside and see what other changes come on the Platinum trim level when upgrading from the SL. Now as soon as we open up the door of the 2017 Nissan Pathfinder Platinum, you start to see a couple touches of elegance that Nissan does. So you have really nice wood grain here on the side of the doors, and that trim is going to follow throughout the vehicle. So you're going to notice on the passenger doors here in the center console, you have that nice wood grain. Again, like I said, it's really what you would see on an Infinity, but again now in a Nissan product. So again, it's a nice touch. Now these seats are some of the plushies you can find in the Pathfinder, so you can see comfort is one of the main things. So now not only is that true in the front of the vehicle, but also in the rear. You're going to start to see very plushy seating, and of course independent AC here in the back, but that is standard on the base model trim level. you're gonna start to notice that a lot of the materials that Nissan uses, it's really high end in the Pathfinder. So really no hard plastics really. So you have nice leather here on the side of the door panel, leather here where your arm will be resting when you're driving, soft touch materials all around the vehicle. So let's go ahead and hop inside and really observe some of the changes. Now we're gonna take a quick look around the vehicle before we actually get into too much detail. What you're gonna start to notice here on the Navi system is something very familiar to what you would find in the Infiniti Q50. It actually seems to be really inspired by that. So it's actually not the same system that you would find in like the Maxima or the new Leaf or the Nissan Murano. It's actually a unique system specific only to the Pathfinder when it comes to Nissan. So no other Nissan model actually offers this nice infotainment system. So again, given that they're aiming more for elegant design, luxury design, it actually stands out from the rest of the Nissan products and more again into Infiniti. As you can see, this map that you have now. Now this new Navi system here in the 2017 Pathfinder Platinum actually incorporates now for the first time a really smooth pinch to zoom system. So there's no more having to necessarily use this here. Actually the pinch to zoom is very responsive, very smooth, so pretty much it's almost instantaneous. So as soon as you swipe in, you know, or swipe out, as you can see, it zooms in actually relatively quickly. Now speaking of more into this Navi system, which is actually standard here on the Platinum trim level, it is optional on the SL trim level through a tech package, but given that it's standard here, we're gonna actually be taking a look at it now. So if you're familiar with the Infiniti's InTouch infotainment system, you're gonna be very familiar here with the new Nissan Pathfinder. So to give you an idea, this whole app screen is actually, or the app garage, as you can see there, is actually very similar to which you would find in the Infiniti Q50. So again, Nissan is really moving into a really high-end type of vehicle with the new Nissan Pathfinder. As you can see, even stuff like the app garage is actually almost the same as what is in the Infiniti system. So like I said, you're pretty much getting an Infiniti just with the Nissan badge, and I really can't stress that enough. So if you're familiar with the audio system in the Q50, you're gonna notice how everything here at the top, stuff like the Bluetooth controls, AM, the disc and everything, it's pretty much brought in from the Q50. So again, you're gonna hear me saying a lot of Infiniti. The reason here being is because that's pretty much what you have here. You have an Infiniti system, an Infiniti drivetrain with just a Nissan badge on the outside. So you can start to observe how really a lot of attention to detail that Nissan put into this model. So we are going to take it step by step. So now, being that we're in the Platinum trim level, you do see now this new little button here. So of course you did have cruise control in the basic model, but what this little button is the activation of the intelligent cruise control. So if you're not paying attention on the road while you're driving, the Nissan can actually turn on intelligent cruise control. So when you turn it on, it'll actually maintain your set speed regardless of any vehicles in front of you, or so if they start to brake, the vehicle will start to brake itself as well. If you start to, if the traffic starts to slow down, it'll come to a complete stop. If traffic starts to clear, stuff like that, then the Infiniti, I mean the intelligent cruise control is actually smart enough to be able to manage the throttle response for you. So you don't have to worry about that in traffic. Just turn on intelligent cruise control and you're set. Now, before we move on to the rest, one small thing I forgot to mention that you can see from the outside is now this addition of this not only moonroof here for the driver's side, but actually the same thing there in the back. So it's a panoramic moonroof, and it's all power, and it's handled by this button here for the back, this button here for the front. You see it's an all powered rear panoramic display. So every single every row here, it's gonna have access to that nice moonroof. So something that I just did want to point out, again, it really makes it look elegant here in the Nissan Pathfinder. Now, one of the great additions to the Platinum trim level is the inclusion of Bose audio throughout the speakers. So again, it gives us this nice rich sound. I'm not gonna play music here for obvious copyright reasons, but it's really something I can't stress enough. So you can see that the Bose marking there. So you have overall a 13 speaker system, so pretty much any row that you're going to be sitting in, you're going to have really nice sound, along with a nice subwoofer. So again, sound really is a big thing here, and with this sound system that seems to be sourced from Infinity, you're going to be covered in any single row. Now, moving on to the more luxury features that are reminiscent from what you would find in an Infinity, is this addition here of being the Platinum trim level of the memory drive seating for 2. So not only can you just set it to 1 and 2, but it's also programmable to the Nissan Intelligent Key, which we're going to take a look at right now. So as long as you have this nice Nissan Intelligent Key with you, whether it be you or your spouse, if you're driving, you set it to 1. And then anytime you get inside your vehicle with the intelligent seating system, it's going to make sure to adjust your mirrors to how you had it, your steering wheel to how you had it, and your seat to how you had it. So really, just bring your key, sit down, and the car is ready to go. Now, if your spouse was to get into the vehicle and they had their preference set to their key, it's going to set everything else to their preference. So as you guys start switching drivers, the Nissan Pathfinder is smart enough to know who's driving and what sitting position to have it in. So again, one small thing I wanted to point out there. Now, another nice thing to have is, of course, the addition of the power tilting and telescopic steering wheel. So again, specific only to the Platinum trim level. It goes up and down, in and out. So again, just more luxury touches. You don't have to manually have to adjust your steering wheel. Of course, power seats, but as standard on the SV trim level. Now, one small thing to also notice here is the addition of climate controlled seating. So not only can you heat the seats, which you could in the SL model, but you can also cool them as well. So you put this to the side here, and that's cooled. Heated's going to be on this side. So again, it's and I'm going to say it again, but it's pretty much the same system found in the Infinity here in the Pathfinder model. Now, also included in this system is the addition of rear heated seats. So you have heated seats for the front and heated seats for the rear. Now, opening up the door here to the back of the Pathfinder, you're going to notice that the same materials that they use in the front is actually also traveled here to the back. So again, we're not going to go into too much detail as far as the rear seating position and the rest of the vehicle, because it is the same as you would find on the SL trim level. We are going to quickly observe, how to get in and out of the vehicle. It's handled actually relatively easy. One thing that is actually specific to the Platinum trim level is, of course, the addition of those nice speakers they're added in the back. Of course, because it does include the Bose audio system all around the vehicle. And also included is the addition of this here. We actually have a standard jack, so you can bring a DVD with you, a gaming system, plug it into the power outlet right there, and you're going to be able to view it on the navigation display there in the front. We're going to quickly also travel to the back and observe one of the new features for 2017 on the Nissan Pathfinder, and that's the addition of course, being able to kick it and open the trunk. So again, it only works if you have the key in your hand. So like I said, if I wasn't to feature the key like you saw right now, it's not going to open at all. Once you actually have the key in your hand, walk up to the vehicle, you go up to it, you put your foot out, it's going to open just like that. So pretty much, like I said, you have to have the key with you, which I do here. If you don't have the key with you, even if it's a little bit more far away, it will not work. Now here in the back, you're going to notice, again, a very similar system to the SL model. Of course, featuring the nice leather seats. There's not too much difference. That's gonna change back here. The SL model was the model, of course, that it does include this nice kick to open up the rear, and that's a new feature for 2017. So again, I just wanted to briefly show that we're going to do it one more time. So again, you have your foot under the vehicle in the kicking motion. If you hold it on there like I just did, it's not going to work. So just have your foot, kick, release, walk away, and it'll open up. Just like that. Now to close it, you can just press the button up here, press the button on the Intelligent Key, or the button inside the vehicle, and that's it. So now, the last feature that we're gonna go into detail in is, of course, we're moving back to the navigation system. Now, we are gonna cover it in quite some detail because, again, this is specific only to the Platinum. So, if you're familiar with the Nissan Connect system used in the Maxima and Murano, it's going to be a little bit different here. So we're going to walk through it really quick and kind of take a look screen by screen what every single one of these buttons do. Now the camera, of course, here being that it's a Platinum trim level, it features the around view monitor. So you have the front, back, and rear sides of the vehicle. Just press the camera button and you have access to that at any moment. We move here into the climate control, where you can actually independently control the different sides here and even the rear controls. And again, it's pretty obvious, but I did want to point out that, of course, it is a touchscreen display. You could control the rear climate control, the front climate control. Moving on to the audio system, which is practically the infinity audio system. You're going to see how you have ability to store up to about 39 presets, and you can mix them up between AM, FM, satellite radio. You have them all in one screen, so you don't have to alternate through different radio frequencies to be able to listen to your audio. Moving on to the apps, now you do have to have your phone connected to Bluetooth to get even more apps than what is mentioned here. So if we don't have the app on our phone, we're not going to be able to use too many more of the apps that are already featured here. But you can use stuff like Google Search, Facebook, Pandora, right from the display here. So again, we don't have it, so we can't show you how that's going to work exactly, but just know that it is available. Moving on to the Navi button, here is where you can actually insert your destination, whether it be your own home address that is actually saved, points of interest, or an address book as well. You can also dictate your direction through the voice commands here. Moving on to the map, again, and this does feature, of course, live traffic through Sirius XM. As you can see here, the traffic conditions right now in Los Angeles are not the best, but I mean, when are they? Very good. But you can see here in live that it does feature traffic, so it can reroute you through the quickest way, the best way to get where you're going, or the most economical route there. You also notice that you do see this little headset as well as the SOS button here. That is because the Nissan Pathfinder now features for the first time Nissan Connect services. So what that allows you to do, it actually, in case of an emergency, you can actually call for help using the SOS button, or automatically detect it in case of a condition through the Pathfinder. But also you have really nice convenience features, such as being able to remotely lock and unlock your vehicle from your phone, doesn't matter where you are, as well as being able to locate your vehicle, and a lot of more detail like that. So we will get into Nissan Connect services in a different video itself, but just know that it's here now, available for the first time in the Nissan Pathfinder Platinum. Moving on to the status, that's where you can get to see a couple basic information about the Pathfinder here. Going on to the info display, that's where you can see your fuel economy depending on the way you drive. So again, I'm not driving the most economical. This is brand new, 5 miles, so it doesn't really calculate too much from there. But once you actually have your vehicle, you're going to be able to take a look at that information right there. And here's where we get into the Nissan Connect services. Google Send to Car. So again, pretty nice features. Yes, as you can see now, when we go into the settings, this looks nothing like what you would find in the Maxima or Murano. So again, it's specific only here to the Pathfinder. And it is a really nice system to have specific only to here. We're just going to briefly cover the advanced driver assist display. Again, this is standard even on our most base trim level, but something that I did want to go over really quickly. It offers you the basic information of the Pathfinder, tire pressure, audio, turn-by-turn direction over here, so you never have to be too distracted when you're driving looking at the infotainment display. You have all the information relevant to you there on the dashboard. So that pretty much covers the Platinum upgrade from SL to Platinum. I pretty much went in detail here into the Navi System, which is really the biggest change from SL to Platinum. Is of course this nice Navi System, and of course the other features that I mentioned outside. But for 2017. One of the most headlining features is the addition of this new infotainment system that really is the nicest that we've seen in a Nissan product. So pretty much trickle down infinity into the Nissan product. So this has been your in-depth look at the 2017 Nissan Pathfinder Platinum, looking at the upgrades from SL to Platinum. For more information as far as the SV and SL trim levels, make sure to check out the channel and subscribe, where we're going to break down the Nissan Pathfinder individually to different trim levels and packages and observe and find the right Pathfinder for you. So if you're curious as to what features are offered, what features you're looking for, and what trim level has it, make sure to check out the channel and subscribe.